afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Monday, November 23rd, 2015, and this is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus here in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Katie Armstrong. In campus news, slightly more than half of the respondents in a poll of more than 1,000 people who work, study, or teach here at Tarleton State University say they would feel safer if people were allowed to carry concealed firearms on campus. The poll was conducted using SurveyMonkey online between November 3rd and November 17th and was sent to about 14,000 students, faculty, staff, and other workers on campus. The survey had a response rate of about 7%. Of the 1,076 people who responded, 57% said that they would trust their peers with a concealed weapon on campus, while 43% said that they would not. A little over 42% said that they would carry their weapon on campus, while the other 40% said that they would not carry. The remaining 18% said that the question did not apply to them. These percentages are met with concerns by the Tarleton Police Department. More in this video interview with Tarleton Police Lieutenant Alvin Alcon.
My concern about safety on Tarleton campus would be if something did occur and officers responded to someone and there's somebody that's legitimately carrying, we don't know who's the good guy or the bad guy. So obviously my fear is to take some sort of action against somebody that's legally carrying a weapon.
The campus carry law was passed by the Texas legislature, approved by the Texas Senate, and then signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott early June of 2015. It takes effect to Tarleton's campus starting on August 1st, 2016. While public universities cannot opt out of the carry law, private universities can. Texas Christian University just recently opted out of the law in early November. Of the 1,089 people who responded to the question about whether they had a CHL, 24% said yes, while 76% said no. Recommendations based on all of these findings are being made by Tarleton and will then be submitted to the Chancellor and Board of Regents of the Texas A&M University School System by February 1st, 2016. It is then that each A&M affiliated school will have their rules confirmed by August 1st when Senate Bill 11 goes into effect. In sports news, according to the Associated Press, Tony Romo scrambled in the back of the end zone before improvising to throw his first pass in 2 months, left-handed, for a short gain. He did even better right-handed. Romo pulled off his latest comeback victory on Sunday, returning from a collarbone injury to throw for 2 scores, and the Dallas Cowboys won for the first time since he was hurt in Week 2, beating the Miami Dolphins 24-14. The Cowboys, 3-7, snapped a 7-game losing streak, their longest in a single season since 1989. They play host to undefeated Carolina on Thanksgiving Day. Romo said, "Winning is going to put a little more pep in everyone's step." However, in this game, Romo did look a little rusty at times, and the heavy rain and gusting wind didn't help him. But Bryant beat a linebacker and safety for the touchdown that was able to put the Cowboys ahead to stay in the lead at 21-14 on the first play of the fourth quarter. Romo directed a late 5.5-minute drive that sealed the win for Dallas. Also in campus news, Tarleton reports that Tarleton State University's Rodeo Hall of Fame celebrated the induction of 4 new members during its 6th annual steak dinner and auction on Saturday, November 14th on the Stephenville campus. Inductees include 1999 CNFR Rodeo National Champion Barrel Racer and Women's All-Around Cowgirl Jennifer Smith Driver, 1977 CNFR National Champion Steer Wrestler Steve Fryer, 1988 CNFR Team Roping Champion Healer David Key, and 1992 CNFR National Reserve Champion Team Roper Turtle Powell. Each honoree was represented with a Bronze Rodeo Hall of Fame medallion by Tarleton President F. Dominic DeTavio and head coach Mark Eakin. In addition to honoring Tarleton's newest Rodeo Hall of Famers, members of the 2015 Men's National Championship team received their diamond-studded silver championship rings during a formal presentation at the Barry B. Thompson Student Center ballrooms. Team members also each received a framed copy of the Texas A&M University System's Board of Regents resolution that recognized the Cowboys' achievements at the 67th Annual CNFR. The annual state dinner and auction benefits Tarleton Rodeo Program Scholarship Fund. In regional news, the flash reports that Stephenville ISD trustees are wasting no time putting the money from the tax ratification election to use. As trustees and Superintendent Matt Underwood promised voters when they asked them for permission to move money from paying debt to funding operations. They added available funds are going directly back to the students in the form of technology. The board unanimously approved for a measure at its regular board meeting Monday to purchase 660 iPad Mini 4 units and carts for storage at a total of almost $400,000 for Hook Elementary School, which serves 3rd and 4th grade students. SISD Executive Director of Technology and Digital Learning, Shelby Womack, reported to board members that the carts are necessary for storage because students will not be allowed to take the tablets home. The overwhelming support for the tax ratification election means an increase of about $373,000 in the operations fund. The remaining $18,000+ will come from operations funding that was already budgeted for technology. In state news, Obama administration officials say their process for screening Syrian refugees is extraordinarily thorough and comprehensive. Their comments came in a letter sent to Governor Greg Abbott after he said he opposed any settlement of refugees here in Texas. The letter obtained by the Dallas Morning News lists the various steps of screening and interview processes for any refugees seeking to move to the United States. The United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees screens all applicants, followed by reviews by the U.S. Department of State and Department of Homeland Security. Federal immigration authorities also track refugees and conduct more background checks when they arrive in the U.S. The letter said, "Indeed, applicants for refugee admissions are screened more carefully than any other type of traveler to the United States. We have tremendous faith in the system's ability to detect, investigate, and disrupt terrorist plotting in this country, as it has done repeatedly."
So the governors are concerned, obviously, in light of Paris, that there's security concerns with people being brought to the U.S. from the Middle East as part of this grand refugee program. There's 70,000 annually refugees are allowed into the United States, and it's a bit of a misnomer to say they're just coming here, right? The refugee process is such that you're invited to become a refugee and move to the United States. And then you start the process of resettlement with a variety of aid agencies, and they pick, the aid agencies in coordination with the government, pick where you're going to go. Certainly it's a political issue, if nothing else. You have governors saying, listen, I want to protect my citizens, I want to protect Americans in general, and I don't want to bring in or allow to be brought in a potential terrorist. Is that person in this group of people who are arriving in the United States? When we talk about refugees from Syria coming into the United States, what you're talking about is people being invited, for good or bad. They've won the right, if you will, or been granted the right to move to the United States. It's a 2 to 3 year process minimum for vetting and such. Generally saying just no does not appear to be within their authority. It's the State Department, it's these refugee agencies working with the State Department that selects locations based largely on economics. So are there job opportunities? Because these folks have to be finding work shortly after their arrival. Are there language opportunities? Are there other social networks within those communities? Ultimately, though, as the Committee for Refugees and Immigrants told me today, you can't stop somebody from moving to your city or your state. Freedom of movement. If you're resettled in New York and you decide, I don't like New York, I think I'd like to move to Michigan. Move to Michigan.
The U.S. plans to accept 10,000 Syrian refugees, which the letter called a modest commitment. Abbott and more than 24 other governors have announced that they are refusing Syrian refugees due to safety concerns following the deadly attacks in Paris. Federal officials say states don't have that authority, a statement governors have contradicted. The State Health and Human Services Commission told volunteer organizations in the state last week not to help any Syrian refugees. A letter signed by Chris Turner, the agency's executive commissioner, said, "If you have any active plans to resettle Syrian refugees in Texas, please discontinue those plans immediately." Legal experts have told the Associated Press previously that federal law being cited by Abbott and others primarily concerns states' rights to consult in the process of resettling refugees. Holiday season is kicking off, and with Thanksgiving coming this Thursday, many places are beginning to ready their Christmas decorations as well. According to the AP, the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Buffalo, New York is kicking off the holiday season with the unveiling of a giant 24-foot, 1,800-pound gingerbread house in its hotel lobby.
It is a 24-foot structure that we've covered with real gingerbread, real icing. The windows are candy, and it's really a work of art.
Now from the Associated Press, the national and international news.
This is AP News Minute. Prosecutors in Belgium announced early Monday that they detained 16 people in nearly 24 raids, mainly around Brussels. However, key Paris fugitive Salah Abdeslam was not caught. At least 16 people were shot and wounded in New Orleans on Sunday night. Police say the gunfire broke out while hundreds of people were crowded in a playground to shoot a music video. Argentina elected a new president on Sunday. President-elect Mauricio Macri is promising to revitalize Argentina's sagging economy with free market reforms. And temperatures in the single digits hit the upper Midwest on Sunday. The bitter cold turned the season's first major snowstorm to ice and made driving dangerous. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press with AP News Minute.
And now we turn to Dalton Wolverton, bringing you the weather from the National Weather Service.
It's currently 59 degrees here in Stephenville, Texas, and as you can see, we have mostly sunny skies. We should see a high of 64 degrees this afternoon with a low of 46 this evening. We have 33% humidity and winds out of the south-southwest at 3 miles an hour. Back to you, Katie.
Today's broadcast was produced by Dalton Wolverton, Alejandra Arguin, Sydney Burns, and Justin Pack. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Katie Armstrong. Tune in on Monday for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus here in Stephenville, Texas. Everyone, have a happy Thanksgiving.